Hi traders, let's start with looking at the Dow. Really interesting day. And so 2 days ago we had a reversal bar, we had a seller's bar, we pulled back to 645 area, and here we are sinking under 16,400. Could potentially, even tomorrow's options expiry, could potentially, who knows, maybe even hit 16,000. If 16,000, this is enough money on 16,000 as an expiry level, could go all the way. So doesn't look as if it's happy to stay stationary. I made a mistake at the open on the Dow. I made a mistake of thinking most days recently we have seen a flip up, hit resistance and then drop. So I was sitting here with orders up here and it opened and pretty much just collapsed pretty much at the open. So I did get short further down, around, I can't remember, about here I think. And so I have been shorting other highs as well, adding to it. So I've done okay, but I won't do that again. I will, next time around, I will box this off, and if we break a certain level, I'll just get in and stay in. Okay, you see the top of the screen here. You can see yesterday we bottomed, we opened with a spike, sold, and then moved sideways, and then dropped out of the box later in the day. So where are we? Yeah, like I said, it's options expiry tomorrow, so I will look at some forex in the morning. Otherwise, just leave it. Any pullbacks of 16.5. Obviously, it depends where we close today and what happens tomorrow. But into next week, any pullbacks of 16.5 are to be sold into if we're lucky enough to get a pullback like that. Otherwise, if we close down here, we're going to have to take what we can get. Gold, I've not been happy with the gold market. I took a long in gold a couple of weeks ago and got stopped out. I think I took 1287, had my stop under the daily bar, and it swept me out before pushing up. So I've walked away from that. I think we are seeing strength in the dollar, and therefore I don't think the gold will do it. But we'll see. CAD yen is disappointing. That looked really good earlier today, and of course the weakness in the market seeing the yen repatriated because the yen is a safe haven. When the appetite for risk is off, the yen will just get repatriated, and so the yen pairs will drop. Pound yen. This is the Asian range. So we poked up to 171 in the morning, dropped to close to 170, and all pullbacks are getting shorted. Be nice to see a deeper pullback at some stage. Obviously 170 looks as if that's the expiry, options expiry. So I would stand aside, and then into next week we may need to start shorting that. The euro yen, any pullbacks in that are shortable. That started selling even before the euro session open. So any pullbacks, we look as if we're heading for at least 138. If you're a day trader, just look for highs in the smaller in the RSI, the smaller time frame. Otherwise, if you're a swing trader, you could go short at 139.50, but you're going to have a stop at least above 140.40, and the risk reward ratio is not there. I'm interested in this. I've been following this extensively. This is the pound Aussie dollar. That's the June contract. In fact, I need to look at the September contract because the June contract is too close if you want to keep this. Let's look at the rolling contract for now. We're coming down to a major support level, and the daily 200. We start holding here. I will nibble long on the contract tomorrow, and if the contract starts working, I'll dig the September contract out and start to see if that can push up. Because if that's able to do that, that could end up being a nice wedge. I'm going to give that more time tomorrow and possibly start to nibble that tomorrow. Let's look at oil. Screwed up a little bit in oil. Tried to get short. Well, I tried to buy it on support, and obviously the support failed. I had a very small position. Then I tried to short it too low, and it stopped me out before it dropped. I did get some moves out of it, but nowhere near what I was expecting. You can see the S2 sold off at the daily pivot, and we came down to the S2. These intraday pivots are very useful. The Dow touched the daily pivot at the high and came down to S3. I still think the oil is going to really struggle in a market like this, so I think any highs into, we close like this, pits are not closed yet, we closed out this level, I would start shorting up here to see if I can get a weaker close, but there's so much support down here, it's not a great trade. If I do that, I would go half size. Okay, so that's all we've got for you. So happy trading, and talk to you in the next video.